Al-Qaeda timeline continued. February 13, 1999. The Taliban announces that bin Laden has disappeared from his Afghan camp. The disappearance of bin Laden places the United States government in a state of alert and sparks an intensive international search by United States intelligence agencies. Well, it's obvious he probably went to check in the mountains where he then went to hide out how things were progressing. April 18, 1999. And obviously the Taliban knew this. They're funneling arms to them, aren't they? Well, people are helping them. April 18, 1999. An Egyptian military court sentenced 9 of the 107 defendants in the returnees from Afghanistan case to death. Others receiving varying sentences. 20 of the defendants were acquitted. Among those sentenced to death in absentia were Ayman and Muhammad Zohari. So on 1999, April 18, within these 107 defendants, Ayman Zohari was there. And then you let him go, and then he went to the hideout, and you are now saying that he's Al-Qaeda's number 2. Okay. This is the person we're chasing by the by. We need to catch this man, catch this terrorist. April 30, 1999. A London-based newspaper, The Independent, cites United States State Department sources saying bin Laden is seeking to relocate to Somalia, which is obviously incorrect because they're all relocating to Afghanistan hideout. May 3rd, 19... So they sent you over there while they're going the other direction. May 3rd, 1999. Somali warlord Hussein Muhammad Adid refutes claims that bin Laden has a base in his area of control. So he's telling you that he's got a base there, but it's not where he's going. It's not where bin Laden was going. However, he does not rule out the possibility that bin Laden operatives may be in the Gedo region of southern Somalia. June 7, 1999. The FBI adds Osama bin Laden to the 10 most wanted list. June 10, 1999. In an interview broadcast on Qatari television, bin Laden calls for war against Israel and the United States. Bin Laden is described as depressed, believing that he should have been martyred in Afghanistan fighting the Soviet Union. July 7, 1999. President Bill Clinton imposes sanctions against the Taliban for harboring bin Laden. The sanctions prohibit trade or transactions with the Taliban and freezes any Taliban assets in United States jurisdiction. I don't understand the statement of this man, of the terrorist. It says bin Laden is saying to kill Americans and so on, wherever you see them, yet he's fighting the Soviet Union. How come he doesn't say kill the Russians then? July 8, 1999. The Taliban confirms that bin Laden has relocated. Maybe there's too many of them. The Taliban confirms that bin Laden has relocated its base of operations to Farmihada, Afghanistan, near the Pakistani border. This confirmation comes after local reports the locals reported that they saw bin Laden and Al-Qaeda operatives in the area. July 17, 1999. The Albanian government deports 3 suspected operatives. The 3 suspects consisted of 2 Syrians and an Iraqi. The Iraqi civilian that you suspected was the leader. He was the leader, like you have a gang of 3 people in a school. One is their leader. This one was the leader, the Iraqi. July 13, 1999. The Taliban publicly reinforces its position to offer Osama bin Laden safe haven. calling him a guest of the Afghan people since the jihad against the Soviet forces. October 5, 1999. Southern African authorities arrest Khalfan Khamis Mohammed in Cape Town. October 13, 1999. Marez Hamdouni, an aide to Osama bin Laden, is arrested by Interpol at Istanbul's international airport. He is carrying a Bosnian passport. The Taliban arrests Khalil al-Dik and a young Jordanian man, Abu al-Mubtasim, on charges of spying on bin Laden for a foreign country. October 16, 1999. The United Nations Security Council imposes sanctions on the Taliban until bin Laden is expelled from their borders. The sanctions, to take effect in 30 days, prohibit any transactions between member states and the Taliban. October 20, 1999. Two members of an 8-man Al-Qaeda commando unit are arrested in Turkey after crossing the border from Iran. One suspect confirms the unit's connection to Osama bin Laden and informs Turkish officials of their plan to attack the Conference on European Cooperation and Security. The at-large suspects consist of 4 Kurds and 2 Algerians. November 19, 1999. Afghan clerics whom support the Northern Alliance against the Taliban issued a fatwa that it was legal under Islamic Sharia law to kill Osama bin Laden. December 1999. So the clerics issued a fatwa that under Islamic law they can kill Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden by now is a murderer. Anyone can. You don't need a fatwa you don't need no fatwa against this person in them days. In them days, he was a killer at large. December 1999. The United States government obtains from Jordan copies of CD-ROM containing a 6-volume manual allegedly used by bin Laden to train Al-Qaeda recruits in Afghanistan. The manual was found on a group of men arrested in Jordan for allegedly planning New Year's attacks on Israel and Jordan. The manual is described as being a briefing book on how to conduct terror. December 14, 1999. Ahmad Rasham. They're saying they have written a manual. What more words do you need than the words contained in the Quran? December 14, 19, or in the scriptures for that matter. December 14, 1999. Ahmad Rasham is arrested in Port Angeles, Washington, for possession of explosive materials. His vehicle contained 110 pounds of urea, 14 pounds of sulfate, and 4 homemade timers. At the time of his arrest, Rasham held airplane tickets to London. Rasham, an Algerian, has ties to the GIA. Now, I would link this person to... Right, I would link this person to Mustafa Mahmoud Said Ahmed, an Egyptian charged with the bombing of the United States Embassy by Tanzanian Magistrates Court, 21st, 1999. December 15, 1999. Jordanian officials arrest 13 suspected terrorists, accusing them of planning attacks against the Radisson Hotel in Amman, 3 tourist sites frequented by Israelis and Westerners, and 2 border crossing into Israel. Mohammed Hussein Zain al-Abidin flees from Pakistan to Afghanistan shortly afterwards. December 19. Lucio or Lucia Garofalo, a Canadian citizen, and Boabed Chamchi, an Algerian national, are arrested at the Quebec-Vermont border after traces of explosives are found on the fender of their vehicle. Chamchi holds a false passport. The vehicle and cellular phone were both registered to Garofalo and Brahim Mahdi, a member of the Algerian Islamic League. The Algerian Islamic League is headed by Mourad Dina, an international arms dealer and financier of terrorist organizations. Mourad Dina. He's obviously not working for peace. December 30, 1999, a New York terrorism task force detains Abdul Ghani after finding his telephone number and address on Ahmed Reshim. Ghani traveled from New York to Seattle using alias Eduardo Rocha. January 23, 2000, United States Department of Justice files documents outlining the structure of Al-Qaeda. It provides information concerning fundraising, how weapons are obtained, and the procurement of passports. So this Mourad Dina up there, he's supplying weapons. The IRA also supply weapons, and the Americans were kindly to give them weapons during the war. Other than this, I don't know where they're getting their weapons from. Whether they, people are smuggling them weapons into where the mountain hideouts are, it should be looked into. January 28, 2000, Mohamedou Ould Slahi is arrested in Nouakchott, Mauritania, upon request of the United States. He is suspected of being the head of the Montreal terrorist cell conspiring to attack the United States. Slahi is the brother-in-law of one of Al-Qaeda's top lieutenants. February 8, 2000, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police dispatched a team of detectives to Europe to question Hamid Aich and Fateh Kamil for their involvement in the New Year's Eve bombing conspiracy. February 22, 2000, Bin Laden is reported to be deteriorating health and preparing to turn over control of Al-Qaeda to al-Zawahiri. Right now it's year 2000. Now you saw videos of him watching TV. His health weren't deteriorating. They're just lying, innit? They're just lying. You saw him when you said he's watching TV, flicking over the channels. He didn't look unhealthy. And turn over control to al-Zawahiri, his doctor-like. I don't believe that he turned control to him. It's some other person in charge of these old terrorists around the world. Experts state that this might be a ruse, R-U-S-E, for Bin Laden to take a more backseat role as United States pressure on Al-Qaeda and Afghanistan increases. That's a lie. There's nothing wrong with his health. March 2000, a planned visit by President Clinton to a village in Bangladesh is called off based on a terrorist threat possibly linked to Bin Laden. March 17, 2000, news reports state that Bin Laden is dying of kidney failure. Again, is a lie. He doesn't look like he's got kidney. You should have checked him before you battered him. March 28, 2000, Jordan accuses 28 Arabs linked to Bin Laden on charges related to planned attacks against an American hotel and 3 tourist sites frequented by Israelis and Westerners. 15 of the suspects have been in custody since 1999, while the remaining 13 were accused in absentia and may be hiding upon Pakistan, Afghanistan, Britain, Lebanon and Syria.